I have I have some good puzzles. I can start off with I can throw a puzzle to the group before we start off, if you guys want. I love logic puzzles. Good, okay, a good one to start maybe. You have 100 coins in front of you, and you flip them all, or either heads or tails. They're all 50-50, they're not weighted or anything. What's the probability you get an odd number of heads at the end? Oh. Okay, I'll throw that one out to the group, but then let's get started. If anyone has the answer, they can always throw it in chat. Cool. Yeah, let's start by going over topics. Maybe one thing we can start with is the STMO situation, given there's a question about it, it might be on people's minds. So we'll put out a proper update later today, but a really quick just summary is there was a slight change in the rupture rate that was caused by like a series of kind of race conditions that triggered something that was a little bit unexpected. The issue, I think, should have gotten resolved with Stride software update today. I'm going to verify everything is fixed with it and then put out a full postmortem. But after today, everything should be enabled properly, and we'll put out more details on like what exactly caused the bug. Like I don't want to misspeak here. That you should see that in the coming next couple of days. And then no one will have lost any money for this. So I think the total amount of the change rep was relatively small, and like we'll basically make sure that either both minters and stakers get like a favorable rate for them. So make it so no one should have been harmed. But yeah, well, you stay tuned for more details on that. The upgrade just happened today, and so we still want to verify what's going to happen and that everything happened properly. But we're in the middle of verifying that right now. We should be done pretty soon. We'll share it in just a few hours. We just want to make sure everything is working properly. But I think by the end of today, we will re-enable the FMS front end, and then all the variables should reflect reality. They might have already. We just haven't really looked at it since the software upgrade. So sorry, we've just been kind of back to back since that. But after that today, we'll kind of take a look through everything. Cool. Let me hop into just other kind of discussion topics for this week. And please feel free to drop any questions that you have into the chat. Starting out, one exciting integration or partnership that we've been working on that we're really excited about that is coming live soon is Stride and Skip protocol. So I think this has been one of the most highly asked for features is can we liquid stake or can we sell the Stride SD rewards in one click? Like right now it requires like 30 clicks to go like export all of them to their chains, do the cells and whatnot. So working with Skip to make this to basically query the optimal route for the SD tokens and display it to the user in as few transactions as possible. We're still working on this, but I think it should go live next few weeks, and it should make it so in just a handful of clicks you can take your your SD Atom, SD Osmo, SD Inge, etc. from staking Stride and sell them and convert them all to USDC or Stride in maybe just like 3 or 4 clicks, and should be in under a minute. So that's a pretty big partnership, and we're excited to see where that goes. And just in general, our whole interactions with Skip have been so positive, and so really excited to kind of work with them more closely. Moons, yeah, exactly. This would be on the Stride app itself. This would be on the Stride front end. We haven't this is pretty early, so we haven't done the front end planning for this, but it either might be a tab on the Stride front end, or maybe we would talk to Kepler to see if we can put this into Kepler or Leap. But ideally, it's right into our front end, and I think it's simple enough where we should be able to do it. Yeah, and yes, Skip is indeed the GOAT. Our whole team is just full of really amazing developers. If you guys ever get a chance to see them, or I think it'll be at Cosmoverse, so you should all definitely say hi. A few more pretty good updates. So Stargaze is liquid staking the Osmo in their builders indeed. Stargaze is liquid staking the Osmo in their community pool, which is super exciting. So if you guys don't know this, Stargaze as a community did a swap a long time ago where the community pool holds some Osmo, but they've held it for a while and the Osmo is unstaked, and so they're getting kind of inflated away every year. And just recently, Stargaze community has decided to liquid stake that Osmo. So that's super exciting, and that'll be like funds that new Osmo inflow that we'll see. And I think it should be a really exciting precedent for new chains that chains can do token swaps. And I think one thing that's been hard for token swaps historically is for high APY chains or chains that are kind of young, you kind of miss out on staking rewards by doing token swaps. But I think now with this precedent that you can do a LST token swap, it should make them much more attractive. So anyways, a super exciting kind of new development, and hopefully will be the de facto thing that we use going forward. One other related thing, ST Juno just deployed their POL to raise the ST Juno cap on UMI, I believe. Super exciting stuff. So another example of kind of community pools using funds that are still fully owned by the community and fully controlled by the community, but now custodying them or deploying them in a way that helps spur DeFi in that chain. So that's super exciting. Really happy to hear that on the Juno POL. Two other kind of really fun things. The Mars protocol prop just should be up right now to increase the STI deposit caps. We're working pretty heavily with the Mars team, and we've also been working on things we can do under the hood. So we now have kind of a more accurate Oracle hooked up to Mars as well. So Mars will get like more timely Oracle updates from Stride as to like the redemption rate or kind of how much tokens are staked. And this also should give them more confidence to raise the caps. So there should be a proposal right now to raise the caps on Mars, but there's a lot of tech efforts that are kind of coming into the final stretch right here. This should also help increase the caps on Mars, but also UMI and across the board by another like hopefully 20 to 50%, depending on the risk profiles of those money protocols. So that's also something that's super exciting. And then one more quick thing for Cosmoverse 2023, right around the corner. I think it is not this weekend, but starting next Monday. So like in 11 days ish, will be Cosmoverse. And so the whole Stride team will be there. And if anyone else is going to be there, please reach out to us. Please come to the Stride booth, say hi. I would love to see you all in person. We'll be really excited to kind of, we were there last year and it was so much fun. It's my favorite conference I've been to. And I'm sure this one will be even better. And I've heard Istanbul is a totally great city. So it should be super exciting. Two quick things about Cosmoverse though from Stride. So one is we're hosting a 5K or a 4K, I can't remember exactly which. We'll share more details about this soon if we haven't already. But basically, it'll be a little race that we're doing on the Sunday before Cosmoverse. If you all will be there, you should totally come around. It's going to be casual, so not be super fast. You can totally walk it. There'll be snacks. There'll be kind of like we'll go out and get dinner after. There'll be a lot of just like good energy. Maybe some other bad kids in attendance. So we'll see. So please come there. We'd love to say hi there. Moons, to answer your question, yeah. So I think I will be giving a presentation at a keynote at Cosmoverse, and then I believe Riley is going to be on a panel, and then we'll also be in the AZ room as well as the main floor, and we'll be kind of walking people through LSM, telling people a bit more about all the things that are coming up. So definitely come through. We'll have some good alpha should drop at Cosmoverse. One more quick thing about Cosmoverse, we also have a poster art competition. So this is live, so please check I think there should be a link in announcements in Discord. Please check it and submit whatever illustrations you think are good. All hand-drawn or digital art would be accepted. And basically, we're going to take the top 3 designs and we're going to put them up on our booth at Cosmoverse. So basically, at the back of our booth, there's a little TV. And on that TV, one for each day, we're going to display the winners from the contest. They're very loose rules. So the theme is Stride at Cosmoverse, a very loose theme. This mission must be like Stride branding and values, can't be offensive, whatnot. And then just submit it into the link that Moons just posted. We'd love to see all of your creative submissions. We've already gotten some really good ones. Like honestly, I've been kind of blown away by how good the submissions are. And the contest isn't even closed. I think we still have another week to submit them. So please submit them. I'm like super hyped up to see what everyone's submitting. Really excited to see that. Two last kind of quick things to talk about. So one, just on liquidity incentives, you can see at the Stride briefing, just new, like a new liquidity program or new incentive program was launched like 15 days ago. And then we should release details pretty soon, I think in the next couple days, about the next incentive program that's going to be started in, I think, 15 days from now. TLDRs and incentives will mostly not change very much from now to then, but we'll release a lot more details on this next coming days. Cool. Last thing to discuss for this week, super huge news. is the liquid staking module is live on the hub. This has been a really huge effort. We've been working on this for the last, I don't know, like 6, 7 months, along with Zucky and PStake and a lot of the other major liquid staking providers. Took a ton of audit hours, ton of dev hours, ton of UX hours. Had to coordinate PRs across and deployments across a few different blockchains. So really huge effort. But the impact has been really amazing. So now anyone can kind of take their stake tokens and liquefy them. The really big, first place that's been live is the Cosmos Hub. People can take their stake Atom and kind of deploy them all throughout DeFi. And we've seen this actually happen. Like we've seen people. So I think just in the last week, Stride received almost 1 million Atom in inflows, maybe like 600 or 800K or something. And it's not slowing down. Like even just in the last day, we've got another I think almost 50K of Atom that kind of onboard onto Stride. And so it's just been really incredible to see how much new liquidity is flowing through. And then we also see these tokens being used in DeFi. So then tokens being used on Mars or Umis going up. So, I would say overall, really huge success. There's been a handful of small UX issues or technical issues we've seen since launch that we are trying to address really fast. So for a handful of validators, either the validator bond isn't there or they're registering correctly. So there's a handful of these issues they're working through. But I'd say overall, it seems like it went really well. And one thing that we're starting to now pursue and think about is can other Cosmos chains add liquid staking module too? So chains like Injective or Evmos maybe that have a really loyal community that has been staking since day one. If they could liquefy their tokens and use them in DeFi, they might be interested. So one thing we're exploring now is how fast can we onboard liquid staking module to other chains, assuming those chains are interested, of course. So overall, really huge success. We'll see how the growth for Stride continues, but it's been really fantastic to see. Stride now has over 4 million atoms staked in the delegation account. And, it seems like caps are being hit all across DeFi again, so we're seeing a little resurgence. So, super exciting stuff all around. I think that is everything on my mind. I can take a pause there and take any questions that you guys might have. Anything on anyone's minds or any questions on any things we covered? If anyone wants the answer to the riddle from the beginning of the FireStride, it is 50%. Only coin you care about is the last coin. All right. Yeah, all this talk of pizza in the chat is definitely making me hungry. If there's nothing else, no more questions about Stride, we can end it. Oh, yeah, more questions about Stride. Yes, we have thought about this. So one, okay, so there's a few chains I think we are like a no-brainer we should. So Akash and Axelar are like really clear examples, I think. And then there's a bunch of upcoming chains that we're also talking to. So we're talking to Slushy, for example, or DYDX to onboard them, make sure we're ready for those chains, and also making walking through the trade-offs and trying to get them interested into it. I think right now we're still cleaning up things a little bit from LSM. I agree, STDYDX would be amazing. And maybe it'll happen. We'll see. Stay tuned. I think after we finish the current kind of LSM cleanup, as well as a handful of these features that we're just kind of in the back burner, like the skip thing, for example, want to be allow people to kind of convert their staking rewards to USDC or Stride really easily. And the handful of cleanup things in the front end, like small things that are broken, the redemption rates don't update often enough, for example, I don't know, just things like that. So I think we're gonna go on a little clean up tech debt, make sure everything is in a good place, and then probably on this spree of kind of onboarding chains. Next one, I think, let us know what you guys think would be good, but Axelar or Kosh is what we're thinking about, and then the other focus beyond that has been DYDX is, given they're launching soon, kind of making sure everything is integrated to them. I think DYDX itself, it's a little unclear when their chain is launching, but maybe next 1-2 months. Honestly, no worries. Maybe we'll try to make our snapshot further back. Kosh does not have ICA, it's true. Although we've been talking to their team and they seem like they are interested in adding liquid staking. So we could submit a PR to Kosh's repo to add ICA, although for what it's worth, I think they do software upgrades very rarely. So we should talk to them to see when they can enable ICA. But it's a good point, that is a good blocker. I think those are the big ones. Axelar also could be big. We've been talking to the Say team, but I think it's unclear if I mean, I think they've just been really busy, so it seems they're interested, but then things have been moving a little bit slower than we thought. So we'll see how things shape up with Say. That also could be a really good one. Yeah, does anyone have any other questions? I see Tenko's typing. Yes, I also hope they will remove the multi-sig thing. It feels like they're committed to, in the future, becoming more decentralized and safer, although it's a bit tough to say. Every time I talk to their team, I've been really impressed. But I do agree. It feels like something I hope they remedy soon. So sorry, Tenko, could you expand this a little bit? What do you mean by the revenue? Oh yeah, yeah, it's a good question. I think right now, given there are so many Cosmos chains that we could onboard, I mean, we got interest from a lot of chains. I think we do want to prioritize them, TVL or how much revenue that chain will generate. Definitely costs us something like yeah, exactly like relayers, and then we have to host the front end, and then like maintain support and make sure nothing goes wrong. Like it's definitely not zero cost to add things, particularly on the infrastructure side. And so I think our goal is to prioritize the chains by like expected TVL. So like Axelar, for example, their team might provide liquidity or liquid stake. I think one more thing is revenue is also super important. We also care about like liquidity, like how easy will it be to source liquidity for the AMMs. For example, for Axelar, like XTA Axel against Axel. If it's really expensive to get the liquidity, then we also deprioritize a little bit. But chains that are both going to have good liquidity and integrations built on top or a lot of expected usage, those are the ones that we'll prioritize the most. Hopefully, in the near future, the cost of onboarding goes down, and it has been going down, so which is why we're able to onboard like 10 or 11 chains so far. But it's still like non-zero and takes us, a couple days of dev time, and then relayers, like F validators have to relay stuff, and so we're working on bringing the overall cost down. Front end UI update, yeah, I think two big things here. One, after a software upgrade today, we're going to verify everything is working as normal, and if so, then we're going to we're going to revert at all the FMS changes and make it so everything's back normal. And then we're also, oh yeah, yeah, it's a good question on finding tokens. So we're working on this thing called Stride V2 on the front end that will kind of be a much better UI, especially as we add like dozens of tokens. I think this is like we have the design done for this, like all the mocks and everything. I think we're working on like the front end side to convert to JavaScript, but hoping this will happen next month or two. We're honestly just a little bit short staffed right now, but hopefully will happen soon. Yeah, I agree. The drop down is getting pretty long. So I think we have a V2 version where it's like it aggregates that much better, like surface the tokens you actually have. You can like search for things, but we're just a bit backlogged right now. Good problem to have though. I guess we've just shipped too many products. All right, guys. I do have to hop, but please drop any questions you have into here. And it was wonderful talking to all of you. Have a good day, night. Cheers, everyone. Or have a bad day, night.